Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Jamie. Today is everybody's favorite day of the month, what I have completed in this month. So the month is January 2021. Yeah, and this month I was a little off because I was sick, but I still managed to get quite a bit done. Something that I actually decided this year I want to start to do, just so that I kind of have a record, is I am going to start writing down every single book and page that I completed. So the 2021 completed pages, and number them as I go. That way, in the end, when it's December, I will know exactly how many pages I colored in, and it actually says which books and which page I colored. So it's like a running total, just because I'm curious how many pages I can color in a year. And I'm not like going to set a goal, I need to do so many or anything like that. I'm just curious what I just do naturally. So I decided I would do that. And then also, it keeps track of if I did it in 2021 as well. So, yeah, I just put it in here. I'll probably transfer that information into one of those planners or journals I just got. But for now, I've just been doing it in this little notebook that I got at Walmart. Mary, can you turn down the volume, please? Next, I'm going to show you my empties for this month. I always like it when people do this, show their empties at the end of the month. I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's kind of self-satisfactory of like what you gone through and that you actually use your supplies. So I went through 3 rolls of washi tape, and the only reason I went through so many is because I decided to do a new thing to my books. I actually saw this on Erin K's YouTube channel. She puts washi tape around the spine if she has colored in that book. And I have quite a few books, and if I'm just looking at my shelf just to see what I have not colored, in just a minute. Hang on just a sec, guys. Okay, guys, I'm back. So what I was saying is I saw her, one of her videos. I think she was doing a complete coloring book collection, and she inspired me because I thought, you know, that's a great idea. That way I can look at my shelf and I can just see right in front of me what I've colored in and what I haven't colored in, and see if like mostly my collection is colored in books or most of my collection is not colored in books and more just like a collection, because I really want to strive for 2021 to be better at coloring in my collection with my uncolored books. So yeah, I went through 3 washi tapes, and then I finished off this Cali art marker. This is an old marker. This is the Barely Beige. I use this one for a lot of skin tone. So that is goodbye, my beloved Cali art. That was a chisel and a fine tip. So this was the old style Cali art. I have the new brush ones, but I don't have the new chisel. And I'll have to get some of the new chisel ones too sometime. I also went through 3 of these. They're called regular color markers or whatever. I did a review on these. I can't remember the actual brand name of the marker bin. Let's see if I can remember what it's called. It was like RUYIXS or Ruyix or something like that. art markers. And these markers were fabulous. There was no yellowing. They did a beautiful job, and I really like the fine points on these. But I went through my black, my orange, and my blue. So that is that one. And then I went through one of these, Spectrum Noir Classic, and it was Canary CT3, because I love yellow in my coloring pages. This isn't the first yellow I've gone through, but for this month, that one is gone. I went through one Crayola Super Tip, yellow, obviously. And then I went through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 gel pens. Some of these gel pens, like this one, had a giant bubble through the center, and I couldn't get it to come out, and it wasn't going to work anymore, so it became trashed. And a few of these dried out, but for the most part, they were pretty used up. So, yeah, those are my empties. So they will go back in the garbage. If you don't care to see the empties thing, let me know in the comments and I won't do it anymore. I was just thinking, oh, I'll try it for January, see if people like it, and go from there. So there is that, and let me grab the books. So I have a pretty good stack. I'm going to try to... So this is what I meant by the washi tape on the side. So it's just right there. So when it's on the shelf, you just see it just on this end. And since it's washi tape, you can remove it and it's not going to damage your book. But I just thought it was an excellent way to indicate to me what books have been colored in. So I have done 2 in this book. Sun Life Drawing, 40 coloring pages. This is the collection book from Sun Life Drawing. If you hear noise in the background, that's just my daughter. She's on the bed. I did this turtle, so I started him off with gel pens. I don't know if you guys can see that. My light's kind of weird, but I started him off with sparkle gel pens, and then my hands got kind of tired, so I was just like, okay, I just want him finished, so I decided just to finish him off with alcohol markers. So that is that one. And then I did the next one, which is the flamingo. And I have done these pages before, and I like concentrated on drawing around every little circle. And it took me like 6 days to do it. And it was just a pain. So I decided I'm not going to do that anymore. I am just going to take my brush tip marker, go on the little circle, and just kind of go like this. And it will bled out a little bit, but overall you still see a flamingo, and it works. And there's 2 flamingos right there. So I got 2 pages done in that one, which is awesome. And I think I'll just do this one in order. So that will be fun. Lots of different books in this one. The next page was in this book that I recently just hauled. And this one I just did last night, actually, and it was a buddy color. This is 50 Romantic Miniatures by Camellia Angelkova. And I did a buddy color with Danielle, Danni Button's channel. And we did this one. I'm not sure if she's done with hers, but I wanted to include it in my January pages. So it's just these teacups, and I don't know if you guys noticed this, but it says I heart you. Just really cute. I think tried to stick to a Valentine color scheme. I did an alcohol base shaded with Prismacolor pencils, and I also used gel pen And the flowers have been blended with alcohol markers. And then I wrote January 2021 right there on the side, just so I remember when I did this page. And yeah, I think it was a lot of fun, and I'll definitely be keeping this book out for February to do some more coloring in this. If you guys want to buddy color in this book and you have this book, just message me on Instagram or shoot me an email and I'd be happy to color with you. The next one was actually a whip for a long time. I started it in December and finally finished it. So it was in Mythomorphia by Kerby Rosanes, and it was Christmas colored inspired. So I posted this. Hang on just one more second, guys. Okay, sorry, I'm back. My son needed me for a sec. So this one I started in December, did kind of a Christmas color scheme, and I didn't finish it. So this month I decided I would finish it. And I used Tombow dual brush pens, and the blue on the mountains is actually a gel highlighter, and the background, I believe I did gelato. Then after I did gelato, I used Memento inks on the sides to make it a little darker. But that was it. Oh, and I shaded it a little bit with Prismacolor pencils. And there's a little bit of glitter gel pen here and there, and white gel pen. Couple spots I don't love, but overall I think it's a very promising picture, and this was my first one I've ever done in Mythomorphia, so I'm very proud of myself for actually getting one complete in this book. So that is Mythomorphia. The next page that I did was in this book, Woodland Wonder by Recine, and I believe Nikki and Niagara was doing a color along this month in this book, or not I don't know if it was a color along, but it was like you color pages in this book, and so I decided I would color one. I didn't post it to Instagram though, but I know I did it for Nikki's thing, and I did this one, and it's simple. It's with alcohol markers, and she's I wanted to keep it pretty pastel looking, so I just stuck with pastel colors, and I didn't go too extreme. And I use alcohol markers and permanent markers because the greens are Bic, but the rest of them are Cali Art brush markers, I believe. And the yellow is Sparkle Glitter Gel Pen. Yeah. So I like how simplistic it looks, and it just looks nice and clean, which is always nice. That was Woodland Wonder, coloring book by Recine. The next one I colored in was out of my hefty coloring book here. So this book I'm trying to complete, and there's 300 images. It's coloring book for girls fashion. When I complete it is when I complete it, but I've just been going in order and coloring when I can, and I did just one, this one right here, and I must have been kind of a pinky purple mood or something. She's got glitter, like a glitter shirt, and I colored her hair with a dark Cali Art brown marker, and it ended up being so dark you couldn't really see the lines, so I added white gel pen to create some lines in her hair. And she was just a very basic color. Maybe took 25 minutes. Nothing too hard. And this one will be my next one. But as you can see, I have a lot. I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've done 7, so I have a lot to go in that one. That won't be a really fun flip when I actually do the flip. The next book is this one, Creative Haven Mythical Fashions coloring book by Renate Ettl. And this book was gifted to me by Misty from Country Girls Coloring Place. So I wanted to color in it, show my appreciation, and I colored this one. And, oh, I just like totally bumped my little tripod thing. The coloring is just not giving this justice. It's so much brighter in person. Maybe if I turn off my... Oh, that's not going to help. Yeah, we'll just have to leave it like that. So, I colored her all with pencil. I'm just trying to think. I can't remember what pencils I used. Now, this part right here, I actually used an alcohol marker and then shaded with pencil on top. I think I just used my Colleen colored pencils, honestly. And I used Pentel Metallic for the lines in the clouds. And the background is Distress Inks. And obviously the stars I've colored with glitter gel pen. You can see that. And the moon I just did with alcohol marker, I think. Yeah. I like how she turned out. What I do with my Creative Haven books is, I marked that I colored one in here, but what I end up doing is I take them out and I put them in an album, all my Creative Haven books, and then once they get to the point of pages that I'm not going to color in anymore, then I just dispose of those books and just keep the images that I've colored, because I only have so much shelf space. But so far, yeah, that is the only one I've colored in this one. The next one I did was this one. In this book, it's called Vintage Model Adult Coloring Book. And I posted this one on Instagram and people seem to really like it. And this was when I was sick. So I was kind of feeling really quirky, and this is the one I colored. Take that off. And as you can see, it's like really out there color palette. I've added stickles. Obviously you can see it on this sucker, but it's on the cherry too. I almost added glossy accents to the sunglasses, but I just left it. And I did add more stickles in her hair. That's like a blue stickles, but it matches the blue so well you can't really tell. But I really enjoyed coloring in this one. And my daughter was like, "What's wrong with her cheeks?" I said, "She's like sucking in her cheeks, like giving a fish face." So yeah, that was fun. So that was in Vintage Model. And this one is by Creative Lounge. Next book I have here is Mario and Sonic, Pokemon Color by Number, or Mario, Sonic, Pokemon, and Friends Color by Number. And I did two in here. I did Link. This is like your very basic color by number, and I just use alcohol markers. So I did Link, and then I did Breath of Wild Link. I don't remember this game, but I remember this game growing up. And the next one will be Sonic. So I've just been doing these in order, and these are just like quick colors that I just, yeah, do when I don't feel great, and it worked out. This book, I tried to find it online for a friend. I don't think they have this one on Amazon anymore because I can't find the link. So, yeah. But here is the back, so see if you can see they're basically pixelated images. The next book I colored in, I did 2 in. This is Coloring Kawaii Mandala Magic Volume 1. Now, this has another title that, because this has been changed. This was the first title, and then they changed it to Yippee Kawaii, something like that. And if you're trying to find this, you need to look on Etsy, and you can just search Danni Banani of Unusual Suspects, and you'll be able to find this. And I colored this one. So this is the Pokepals, the page with the cactuses. And I did this one pretty much just with my Bic Ultrafines and my regular Bics. And that was it. There's nothing shiny on here, so there's no glitter. I just kept it simple with my Bics and Ultrafine Bics. So fine and Ultrafines. And I really like how this turned out. I am glad that I colored the brown. It kind of symbolizes dirt. So the next one I did was this one. And this one was a buddy color with Danny Buttons. Again, another buddy color. This one was before that teacup one. But this is the Fast Food Fantasy, and this one I tried to just color it what I think these things should be colored like. My hamburger buns did turn out a little darker than I wanted, but maybe that's a good contrast because everything else was so light. Maybe that's the wheat or the healthy hamburger bun, but yeah. And there is a little bit of glitter on the straws and the top of the cups, but not much. Just to give the idea of it being a clear top. So that is those two. And I think, if I'm thinking right, I have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I've done 11 pages in this book, and there's 30 pages in this. So I've done pretty good. The next one is this one, I Dream in Color by Lynn. This is a buddy color I did, and it was with Jess, which is Gummy Bear Colors here on YouTube, and we colored this one. So she finished hers long before me, but then I finally was able to finish mine, and it looks like I've smeared some stuff there. Oh well, that's life. I've added stickles to it. It's mainly just alcohol markers and gel pen and stickles. And it says, open the door and walk through it. Very whimsical. I really like her hair. And I am glad that I did this pale green background because it actually makes her hair stand out even more. Yeah, pretty much just alcohol markers. And that was I Dream in Color. And I want to thank Jess for asking me to buddy color with her. Next one I have here is Flowers, Stained Glass Color by Number. And this one is by Kira Shershneva. And this one I know for a fact I did while I was sick, because I literally remember not being able to sleep. So I did some easy things. So I did this first one. I think they're like roses, purple red roses. And I used my Cali Art brush markers. And that turned out well. I really like how this has black background and black outlining. And then I also like how they have the little dots here, so you can color which color goes where. And so you're not constantly flipping through a page, and it's not wrecking a back side of a page. And then this next one is like a rainbow pansy, I think. It's very colorful. but I do like how this one came out. Very colorful. I like it. So I just did the 2. Yeah, this one, I'm not a big flower colorer, but I can handle it if it's color by number, and I love stained glass. So yeah, I like this book. Next page I have is in Chibi Girls Coloring Book, Anime Color by Number by Color Questopia. So I had this book in my collection for a while since it like came out, and I don't know if I just forgot I had it or I don't know. So I finally decided, okay, I need to pull it out and just do it. And I decided I would just start from the beginning, and I did this one. Oops. The first girl. And you're probably thinking, hey, I've seen her online. She doesn't have blonde hair. Jamie, what are you thinking? I didn't want her to have blonde hair. I wanted her to have, or I didn't want her to have brown hair. I wanted her to have blonde hair. So I just did what I wanted. And like these little flowers right here were supposed to be yellow. No, I didn't want them to be yellow. I'll match this pink flower. And then all of the gel pen that I did in the line work, I did gel pen to match the color of the number that I was coloring. So since this was purple, I wanted to outline this with purple sparkle gel pen. And like since this is pink, I did pink sparkle gel pen. And the only thing that's a slightly different is the background I did with silver instead of like blue. But I like how she turned out. And then I did the pink border on washi tape. And I actually really enjoyed the fact of doing the different colors of line work, because when I do the other, where I'm just doing solid black throughout the whole thing, my hand gets tired, I lose interest. But it was like when I did this, it was like another whole color by number project before I even actually colored it. Like I had, oh, okay, this is all going to be yellow, so I'm going to do yellow line, and you know, so yeah. This is a brighter yellow than this because I wanted them to look different. But there is that. Let me get another stack of books. Hang on just a second. Alright, as I like move everything on my desk. Alright, the next 2 pages I did in this book, and it's Johanna Basford's Enchanted Forest coloring book. This coloring book we are actually coloring in my Facebook group for the next 3 months, and you can pick whatever pages you want and just post them to the group. Kind of like a group color along for the next 3 months will be this book. And I decided I would do the title page to get it started. Let's roll that. And I posted this one to Instagram, and it has gotten a lot of likes. People really like how this turned out. And I just went with a very simple color palette, and this was one of the first times I had ever used my Distress inks, and the rest of it's pretty much gel pen, except for the trees. I used some kind of pencil, maybe whatever was handy. I think it's a Black Widow pencil, if I can remember right. But yeah, I actually really like how it turned out. So I'm proud of myself for doing this one. It looks so much better not on camera. Maybe I will clean off my lens and start recording again. Hang on just a sec. Okay, I don't know if that made any difference cleaning that off or not, but it looks a little brighter on my end. Hopefully that made a difference. But I really like how this turned out. I used like a pink Distress ink, and then the yellow, and then I kind of had an orangey one that I went on the outside. And with Distress ink, you can actually color on top of it. So what I would suggest if you do distressed inks, do it first and then color on top of it, and it will work out. And then the next one I have in here, I actually did this one second, but I did this one, and this one was right at the beginning of January, so I was still kind of in a Christmas mode, so I decided to do this Christmas tree, and I just kept it very simple, green color palettes, and I think this was Distress Inks too. Maybe it was Memento Inks. It was Distress Inks because I was trying to put water on it and it didn't do what I wanted it to do. But it's okay. I'm still learning. So this was probably one of my first Distress Inks. This was done with one of those little brushes. The other one was done with the Distress Ink applicator. That's the difference. So those are those two. So I'll be leaving that book out to try to complete more. The next book I colored in was in this one, Disney Babies Cuadrados Magicos by Hatchet Heroes. This is the Spanish one. You can get the French one as well, but this is just the one that was on our US Amazon. And I colored this one, which is Carl and Ellie from the movie Up. I did change the colors a little bit. They wanted Ellie's hair to be brown, and I know in the movie her hair is red, so I made her hair red. And I also changed up, I messed up a little bit on this balloon because my colors didn't work out, but I just kind of played with it and did the best I could. And the markers that I actually used on this were the ZCSM dual tip markers, and they do not bleed through, and they actually are less streaky than the Crayola Super Tip. So I was pretty pleased with those. And the skin is pencil, because I feel like no matter what marker I use, I can't get a skin tone water-based marker that won't leave streaks and make it look kind of funny. So no matter what I color in, I will always do the skin in pencil because it will look better. And then I also did this one, Little Pluto, and he was actually done first. And this is, again, I used those markers, the ZSCM dual tip markers. And his color is actually sparkle gel pen instead of regular color. So if you have these books and want to try something different, try using your glitter gel pens. It's fun. Make sure you use ones that don't bleed through your paper, but it's fun. I actually did this last. If I would have done this first and kind of got the idea that it was so much fun, I probably would have done all the little bubbles in the glitter gel pen too, but it is what it is. I guess I could go back and trace over them, but I'll just leave it. So I really love this book. So cute. Disney always makes me smile. And those two were part of Kate's and Zoe's color along, which was the Disney Bash 2021. And that was in January. Next book I have here is Romantic Country, fantasy coloring book. This is the third tale. This one was actually the first page I've ever colored in this one. And it was this page, which is a Valentine page, so kind of fitting for February. I actually colored this page to review my Pecos soft core color pencils that they sent me for review. And I didn't do this on camera. I did the review on camera, but then after I did the review, I colored this on my own, and it is very nice, and the colors did lay down nice. It's light and simple, and I like it. So, yeah. So I'm glad I finally was able to color a page in this book. So I didn't have any more whips. I have one more page in here, which is that one that I haven't finished, but sometime I will. Next book I have here is Color Me Fearless, and this is by Angela Porter. I've had this book for a long time, like almost from the start of my coloring journey. It's a thick book. And I just did a simple one, which is kind of like a mandala with a triangle in it. And I used these smell click glitter gel pen things that I had shown in a haul. And I just liked coloring with them because they smelled good. The whole time I was coloring, they smelled good. Like the blue was like a blueberry scent and stuff. And I could have went into each one of these and done more color, but I just kept it simple and it works. So that is in that one, Color Me Fearless. And there's some other volumes like Color Me Happy, Color Me Stress Free, but I have the Fearless one. Next book I have here is Zendoodle Stained Glass, Color by Number by Deborah Muller. Now, this one I had gotten on Book Outlet. It was not $11.18. I got this at Book Outlet for a lot cheaper than that, probably like $3 or something like that. And I did this one. So it's kind of like a wacky tree. I think the pinks were supposed to be brighter, but it is what it is. And if you guys have never seen one of these color by numbers, I actually like them a lot because the thing comes out like this. So you can clearly see all the colors while you're coloring this. So you're not constantly flipping back and forth like the George Tufaxis. So yeah, I really like how this turned out. Very colorful, very easy to color, like within 45 minutes was done. And I just use alcohol markers. Maybe I use some Bics too, but I think it's just alcohol markers. You know what? I actually, now that I think about it, I use these. The Tai art marker. So, yeah. Next one, I actually colored on stream or on a video when I was doing a tag. And I think it was the tag. It was like a lot of questions. The this or that tag. And this book is Kokeshi Cuties coloring book. And I colored this one. This cute girl with the fan. So while I was coloring and asking the questions, I just did the simple stuff. And then I did like a speed up at the end of the video so you could see me complete the page. And this was like a blend with alcohol markers. And I just did brown. And these are highlights with white gel pen that have kind of turned kind of tan now because of the pigment of the marker. Must have been super wet still when I put the gel pen on. But yeah, the pinks kind of clash a little bit, but it's okay. It's fine. She's still cute. And I didn't go in and color every little thing in here. I just left it as a yellow kimono and shaded it. So that one is a very cute book. Next one I have here was a whip for like ever. I want to say like 6 months. When I was going through my books and organizing them, I noticed I had a flag in this book, and I was like, I didn't finish one in there, so I decided to pull it out and finish it on a Sunday. I did. This one was before I did this one, the Alice one. And she has been done. Okay, so this shows you a big difference here. She has been done in all pencil. except for this orange solid line, was a Staedtler broadliner. This Bambi one was done in markers. Can you see the difference? I really like how this looks. I think overall, if I do these pages, I'm going to use pencil, I think, and blend them with odorless mineral spirits to get all the lines out. And then in the background, I use pencil on this one because of the flowers, but I might use things like gel crayons because they give a nice effect. Or maybe even just a regular crayon and blend that out with odorless mineral spirits. And some of these backgrounds in these books, like this one obviously had flowers, but like this one was pretty much just yellow. So if it's just like a solid color or a solid thing, I may just do my own thing and just color the character the way they want and then do the background however I want. So that is that one. Very proud of that, and I'm super glad that I finished. So she's no longer a whip. Just getting my last stash. So I colored one in Chibi Girls by April Amber. This is volume 1. And I did this one, The Girl with an Attitude. I did dark blue hair, blue, green, pink, purple. And this is washi tape. I just threw that on there because I thought it looked cool. This is a very, very easy coloring. This was like a warm-up coloring. I like to color these to warm myself up for something bigger, just so that I get kind of in the coloring jive. And she's cute. I think she turned out good. And her eyes, I actually made this part white and drew in that line so that it actually looked more like an eye, because a lot of these look like that. And people color in that whole thing with color. And I like it so that you can see a white part in the eye. So that is why I did what I did. And that is that one. I'm glad I was able to color in that one. It was my first in that book. So it worked for Color Your Horde. This one, Black River Art, color some cuties. I decided I'd color in this book. One night I just couldn't fall asleep, and I knew these wouldn't take a lot of concentration and I could just lay color down. So I decided I would just pull it out. First one I did was this one of the little hedgehog. Decided to make her pink because she's going to be a girl. Maybe she's a Valentine hedgehog. And she's got dandelion pollinating. And I used alcohol markers and Black Widow pencils on this one. And then after that one was done, which was fairly quick, I did this one, which is the bunny getting ready for Easter. Bright yellow umbrella, because yellow is my signature color. And I couldn't decide if I wanted a pink bunny or a blue bunny, so we did pink and blue. And it's really cute. I like it. These, like I said, these pages don't take me very long to color at all. And they always turn out so darling. I want to actually use some of these images, cut them out, and I can actually put them in art journals because they're so simple. There's not major fussy cutting here. So those are really cute. And this book, I want to say, is like $4.99, and it's a pretty thick book. So if you want something to start off your grayscale journey, I would highly recommend books like this. Oops. Next one I have here is Adorable Nature, cross-stitch style adult coloring book. This one I was enabled by Danni Buttons. She had the Christmas one on her channel in December, and they just look really interesting and appealing to me. And then I also showed this in my haul, one of my hauls that I did, and I decided I would color in it. So I colored the very back page. That way I don't destroy these images as I get going. So there it is. And I used just permanent markers, Bic permanent markers. And if you look on the back side, doesn't that look cool? I know this isn't the side that you're supposed to be looking at, but that looks cool to me because you can see all the little X's that I did. I didn't just go, oh, blue, color, color, color. I actually did XXX. So, yeah. Very rewarding. I actually was watching Mrs. Doubtfire when I did this one. And I finished it before the movie was over. So, that is about how much time it took to color one of these. And that is Adorable Nature. And this is by Alice Mills Publishing. My daughter is watching her tablet. That is what you hear in the background. Next book I have here is The A to Z of Creative Coloring by Kelly Ogormon. Kelly Ogormon is amazing. I mean, her work, unbelievable. I bought her calendar of 2020 last year. I colored January, but I never had time to color in any of the others. So I really should color in those other ones this year and not really worry about using it as a calendar because 2020 is over. I did this one, the letter J for my name, Jamie. And this was a buddy color with my friend Crystal. She did a K and I did the J. And there is obviously a jet jigsaw puzzle. This is like a gesture. Jelly beans, jacks, jam. I think these are supposed to be jewels or gems or something like that. Jewelry could be. This one's a jellyfish. And this is a thing of juice. And he has a cup there because he's going to have a drink of juice. So, yeah. These coloring pages don't take very much time at all. And in this book, she gives you more than one of certain letters. So that is very nice. And I've also done A. I did A while ago. So now I have A and J done. It's just 2 letters in my name. The next one I actually showed in my haul, I think. Not this last haul, but the haul before it. The Millie Marotta's Curious Creatures mini edition. And I wanted to kind of show it to you so people got inspiration of how to color Millie Marotta's pages. And I did this little one. And I did this one when I was sick. And it is Sparkle Gel Pen is the rainbow. And the little dots are blue stickles. And then the color in the background is actually Distress inks. A blue and a yellow Distress ink. And then I have colored this swordfish with my Colleen colored pencils. And this is a coloring technique where I just color, like I started out with the darker and then I graduated in. You can do it with the same color family, but I really like to use things like yellow, lime green, bright pinks, and things like that in the centers of things because it gives a highlight and gives more life to a picture. But I just kept it very simple and I think it worked out really well. I probably would have looked better if I used a purple instead of a blue, but since it is a fish, I used blue. So that is that one. And this page took like hardly any time. If anything, it took time because the stickles had to dry. Next one, I actually already showed this to you guys, but you guys get to see it again. This is Macaron's sketchbook coloring book, and I did 2 in this. As soon as I got it, I had to color in it. I was enabled by Carla Magana's actual YouTube video where she showed everything that she colored in her books. And I colored this title page girl with oranges, purples, and greens. And the skull is done with Pentel Sparkle Pop. And then after I did that, I colored this one. Both of these I colored while watching School of Rock. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie. How come I can't think of the actor's name? I'll think of it probably after. Jack Black is the main guy. So it has rock music, and it's just, yeah, it's quirky. So this is kind of inspired by watching that movie. And I managed to get both of these done before the show was even over. And I used alcohol markers and gel pens. What I did is alcohol marker base. So I first colored her with alcohol markers. And like this one and this one, I started off with a darker color on the side of the face. And then I took my lighter color and then colored inside of that. And if you actually color into the other, it kind of bleeds out the alcohol marker just a little. And then colored this straight with alcohol marker. Then after I was done with that, then I went gel pen nuts, which is good. And then I had seen in some of her images how she had this like glow around the entire thing. Well, I thought, oh, I'll try that. And I started and I got there and I said, you know what? I'm just going to keep it halfway. Like this is the shadow and this is the light because she's got shadow. And so I just went for it and just did halfway. And then after I was done with that, I just still felt like the page needed something. So I drew these black circles and put some stars in them and called it good. So yeah, this was actually a lot of fun because I just didn't care. I just threw things at it. And I didn't care if the colors went outside the lines at all. That didn't bother me. So yeah, those are those 2. Alright. Last but not least of my book stash of what I colored, this one, Summer Nights, coloring book by Hannah Karlzon. So this book is my test experiment book because I am an art scientist and I'm going to do that. And this book, I did not pay for this book. It was on one of those sales where it was like buy 3 books and you can choose one for free. So I'm like, hey, I'll choose this one. Why not? And first page of my experimental process was this guy. Yeah. So I went watercolor crazy on this page. And yeah. First I put clear gesso down because I wanted the watercolor to just do its own thing when I put it on the paper and let it move on its own. And then after I had done all the watercolor, then I was like, okay, I need to do something with this image that's on the page. So I decided the mushrooms, I would color them to look like jellyfish. So these are not jellyfish, these are mushrooms. But by coloring it the way I did, they look like little jellyfish. And my black smeared, if you can see that. But that's okay. I just went with it. And then the castle, I actually re-outlined the entire thing with a fine black Posca pen. Just so that it would pull itself away from the color wash. And then, if that wasn't enough, I decided I'm going to sparkle this baby up. And I put sparkle Mosh Podge over the entire thing. After I did that, about 5 of these little guys weren't white anymore. It like wiped out all that white. And I was like, I don't want that to happen, so I colored over them again. And then that's what smeared all these little black dots, because the black dots I had colored with just a felt tip pen. Well, felt tip pen will smear if you put Mod Podge on it. Now, acrylic paint like Posca pen is not going to smear. Good to know. So, yeah, I did a little correction here and there. Overall, this turned out really well, and I'm surprised this page isn't warped to death, but it's not. I did have some right here from the watercolor right here, but I don't see a major issue with this because I can just do a black background on this owl page. It will be fine. So yeah, I did that one. Lots of fun. And then next experiment, I decided I would do this one. So the background is the Jane Davenport aqua crayons, or aqua crayon sticks. They come in a little tiny tin. I'll show you. These aqua pastels is what they're called. I had gotten these at Michael's, feels like forever ago, and I had never used them. And I was like, you know what? These shouldn't sit on my shelf. I better use them. So I used them, and I did it on the background. And then after I did that on the background, I like warped my paper to death. And I'm like, well, that's a scrap. Well, then the next day I'm like, okay, I need to just color that frog so that I can say that I completed the page. Well, I decided to pull the colors that I used for the background out of my choline colored pencils because they were on my desk, and I just went to town on this frog. I can't believe that I even did that. Honestly, maybe I just got so into it, I just couldn't stop, because it felt like, so if anybody's intimidated with these type of books, coloring this felt like a mandala. Honestly, it was like a mandala inside a frog's body, and you just start from the middle and you work your way out, and before you know it, you're done. And then of course I added washi tape on the border. Honestly, I wasn't thinking, oh, I want this to match and stuff. I was thinking maybe if I put washi tape, it won't make it so warpy, and it will kind of give it a little more structure. So yeah. And then I put January 2021. Originally, I put January 2020 because it was late. And then I had to correct that. So, yeah. I don't know if any of you have this book, but in my copy, I actually have these 2 pages twice. And I don't know why. Let me see if I can find the other one. I remember flipping through it and I'm like, oh, I really like that girl with the looking in the pond with the frog. And I said, definitely want to color that. And then I kept flipping and I was like, wait a minute. I've seen this page before. Let's see if I can find it. No, it was in here twice. I swear I saw it again. I don't know. Maybe I was just fantasizing it. I swear I saw this page twice. This one right here. Maybe it was in another book, honestly. I don't know. But yeah, that is my froggy page, and he is my final page that I'm going to share with you tonight. And that is my completed pages, ladies and gents. And I did start a lot of whips, but they probably will stay whips because I'm a whip queen. And I'm acting kind of silly because it's late and I'm tired. And what can I say? I'm just being goofy. But thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate all your comments and your love and your support. You guys have a wonderful evening, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye, guys.